Firing. He's going for Landry down by the end zone. A tumbling catch for a touchdown. He's to the 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown. Is this how it feels to win?
All right, survivors, we are back after that debacle. It is episode 23 of season 4. This is Surviving the Season. We are live from Tampa, Florida. I'm Adam and Greg's here.
Yo, back in survival mode here. Let's see how many, from what I hear, not many Browns fans survived the stadium. I wasn't down there today, but I heard it was the, what do you call that? Evacuation mode by the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, and then they missed the best part.
What a terrible. Could your game one, the very first game of the Freddie Kitchens era, the first game of the new Browns, so to speak, go any worse than what happened today?
No, it couldn't. Completely embarrassed at home. 43-13. Tennessee goes to 1-0. Browns fall to 0-1. 18 penalties, 3 turnovers, 1 for 10 on third down, 0 for 2 on fourth down. All right, good night, everybody. 5 sacks. I'm out of here. Nothing else to say.
Yeah, I mean, penalties galore. You can't continue to keep a drive going, or you can't stop anybody. Can't get off the field when you just continue to have one stupid penalty after the next. You're giving up field position constantly. How many personal fouls today? How many unnecessary roughnesses? Okay, then hey, I'm your starting left tackle. I'm gonna freaking up kick a guy. What are we doing? What happened to the composure of this team? And I know Freddie says, hey, I want to have the baddest team in the league, but I mean, they showed it today. If they thought that he meant by bad as to go out there and just be completely undisciplined and play football the way that nobody has ever taught you. Not one coach that these guys have ever had said go out there and just do these asinine things. I mean, it was like it was straight Bush League today. This is minor league football being played by the Browns.
Yeah, completely fucking embarrassing too. You had everybody all wound up. Muni lot was full last night of people all ready to go. Crowd was electric for about a quarter. Might have started when Seibert missed the extra point. Did it become Brownsy right then? Because if there was one positive, it's the Browns' first possession.
Oh, right down the field, like exactly how you drew it up. This is exactly how we wanted to start things off. And Austin Seibert, your rookie kicker who you have so much faith in, no good right off the bat. And then you're already, and you know, for a little bit, we're chasing that point as we get down a little bit later in the game. But yeah, that was the first Brownsy thing to happen. And really after that, I don't even think that they were playing that bad of football outside of the fact that they just kept making penalties at the most inopportune time. I don't think defensively, obviously they gave up a couple huge plays, but early in the game, they were playing good defense. They were playing pretty good offense, but when you get to second down and 25, it's pretty much over from there. You can't have that. You cannot do that. You can't play from behind like that as an offense. You can't start inside your own 10-yard line over and over.
Yeah.
I mean, Dontrell Hilliard not fielding that punt that went down to the 2-yard line that resulted into the safety. You can sit there and be pissed at Hubbard, who was absolutely fucking terrible today. Hubbard bust all the way today. Terrible.
Awful.
One of the worst games I've ever seen him play. Cameron Wake just took it to him, but Dontrell Hilliard not fielding that punt is the reason why that ball gets down to the 2-yard line.
Yeah.
It's simple things, man. Those are just the basics. You're not even doing the basics of football. Fielding a punt to make sure that you don't get inside your own 10-yard line. It rolls down to the 2. Next thing you know, false start, move you back a half yard. Next play, run the exact play that you just ran the play before. Oh, wonder what the hell they're going to run. The exact same look. You just ran it. You ran part of it. You could see what it was, and then Baker holds the ball for a second too long, and then boom, safety. I mean, come on, man. If anything comes good out of this, it's a wake-up call that, hey, we can't just show up and go, all right, we got better talent than you, so therefore we win. You got to show up and do the right things while you're on the field.
Yeah.
You got to play the game the correct way, the way everybody taught you. Freddie said, I want some bad dudes. He's talking about being physical. And I thought they did a good job of that. But, I mean, he's not talking about sticking your head up your ass and just committing fouls for no apparent reason than other than trying to show that you're a tough guy or something. Greg Robinson trying to upkick the dude. Wait, when has that ever gone? Like, when has he ever done that, or any player ever done that, and the result was good after the fact? Come on, man. Bush League shit. That's what this is. This team, Bush League performance today.
Yeah, so it's kind of embarrassing. It's frustrating because we were so excited.
Maybe that was part of it too. A little bit too much hype.
Yeah, you gave up 5 catches, 55 yards, 2 touchdowns to Walker. You gave up a Henry screen pass for 75 yards for a score. 2 blown coverages on A.J. Brown for 2 long passes.
See, I don't even think, like, it's not even what Tennessee did, though. That one pass for 75 yards, that's the one, right? That's the one you go, okay, screen pass kills us. Outside of that, did they really do anything that we didn't, like, they didn't take advantage of us in any way? Of course they're going to complete some passes. I mean, you want to bring A.J. Brown down before he gets 51 yards, and Mitchell misses that tackle. It gets stiff-armed right in the face, and you don't want that to happen. But, outside of that, it was a pretty solid defensive performance for the most part until the game got completely out of your hands.
Yeah, but that's sort of what Tennessee was trying to do. I mean, what I think we're seeing here is 2 different coaching staffs, too, where Tennessee's going, we're going to come out. We got punched in the mouth on the first drive, and then all we're going to do, we're just going to max protect. We're going to hand the ball off. Nothing's going to be too crazy. Oh, and then we're going to hit a big play. They have 3 big plays. Yeah, they didn't do anything that nobody didn't expect them to do.
Yeah, there was not. This wasn't a game that the Tennessee Titans come in and took away from the Browns. Like, they obviously the score is 43-13. They kicked our ass, but this game is solely lost in the first half because the Cleveland Browns lost this game.
Right, but
this is the Cleveland Browns beating the Cleveland Browns today.
I think it's Tennessee forcing the Browns to be an undisciplined on a team that's not ready. That's what they did. Tennessee had 2 starters out on the offensive line. All they've been talking about is the defensive line is gonna get whatever they want. Tennessee just packed in everybody. 10 dudes in protection, 1 guy running out. Just we're going to play it slow. Browns, okay, here's a defensive hold, first down. Oh, here's one big play. Oh, okay, now they missed coverage on the tight end. They knew where their deficiencies were, and they covered them up pretty quickly. And then they just let the Browns self-destruct.
Yeah,
Tennessee won this game as much as the Browns lost it. Tennessee came in with a plan and ran that plan perfectly. When Baker had no time, what did the Browns do to help Baker have more time? Nothing. 0. We defended with one back. We didn't chip with anybody. Baker got sacked 5 times. Unacceptable.
Yeah, but I feel like it was, most of that was after the game was out of like, it was out of hand. It was
we were only down 2 scores at the beginning of the 4th quarter. The game wasn't out of hand.
Well, you're exactly where we want to be, where you can pin your ears back and just go. And we don't have, the problem is with this offensive line, that the complete just junk that it is outside of Treader and Bitonio. It's patchwork at this point. I mean, you've taken pieces from the junkyard and tried to form an offensive line, and it's piss poor. And I'm not surprised by that. The problem is when you're down and you try to block with those guys, you're not going to be able to get it done. I didn't think that was the case in the first half. Obviously, they get the safety, but you shouldn't even be in that position to take the safety there because your guy doesn't field the goddamn punt. I think in the first half it was more about being out. I mean, we can go through the game. I think it was more about penalties pushing the offense back than it was about the offense just not even being able to get things going. Once you're sitting at 2nd down and 25, the chances of you picking, and they did pick up one of those first downs when Jarvis Landry had like a 20-some yard reception, but outside of that, you're basically done at that point.
Well, okay, so out of 5, I've got 5 5 third downs in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
The second drive, you had the 3rd and 13. That was the sack strip where Baker got sacked and dropped it, and we recovered like on our own 1.
How'd you get to 3rd and 13?
Chubb -3, and then
okay, so Hubbard gets blown up, and loses the 3.
Yeah,
Njoku drops.
If you want to call it a drop, kind of went through his hands.
Yeah, well, that's. I think Romo covered a little bit for Njoku, saying Baker needs to not take a little bit off of that, but it's in his hands. He should have caught it.
But on the 3rd drive, 3rd and 3, incomplete. The 4th drive, 3rd and 1, incomplete. The 5th drive was 3rd and 13 again. That was Robinson ejection. 3rd and 13, incomplete. And then to end the half was a 3rd and 28, and they just tossed it to Beckham. That was just the end of the half. Just that,
Yeah. So the one where Hilliard, do you want to go through the game?
I mean, yeah, sure.
All right, let's go through the game. So opening drive. All right, like we said, Baker 4 for 5, 64 yards on the opening drive, capped off 4-yard touchdown by Hilliard. Of course, I'm playing Chubb this week in my fantasy, so you might as well have Hilliard score your touchdown. Thank you very much, Freddie. Higgins, 2 receptions, 46 yards, and then I don't know if we saw. Yeah, we did not. Rashard Higgins did not get another. He might have had a ball thrown his way, but he did not get another reception for the rest of the game outside of the 2 catches for 46 yards.
I'm pretty sure he was out with an injury.
Oh, is that what happened?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even see that. Knee.
Oh, so that's why Ratley was in there so much.
Yep.
Okay, so what was Higgins' injury?
I heard a knee.
Oh, great. That's going to be huge if he misses any kind of time. You're already missing Callaway. Now, if you're missing Higgins for more than a couple games, I mean, if you're missing him for 1 game, it's a problem. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Okay. So, anyways, on that first drive, Landry had a 1-yard rush, 9 yards. OBJ 2 catches, 18 yards, and then Seibert misses the extra point.
Yep.
6-0. We're up 6-0. So they bring in the ball back. Tennessee starts on their own 8 after a short return and a penalty. First down, first play of the game, roughing the passer on Whitehead. So that moves the ball past the 30. Henry gets stuffed 2 times, but we give up the 47-yard pass on a play action pass to A.J. Brown, and Ward is on him. If you look at the top of that route, and I want to go back when we get to see the all-22, A.J. Brown looks to me like he shoves off.
Yeah, he might have.
That's the other thing. So a lot of calls, like we had a lot of calls against us, but there was some questionable calls on if these things were either penalties or not being called penalties on. I'm telling you again, how many fucking times can you pull out where our guys are obviously being held and there's no holding call on our defensive line? It makes 0 sense to me sometimes.
Yeah.
So that A.J. Brown pass leads to a 37-yard Carlos Santos field goal, makes the game 6-3.
Gotcha. So
you gave up you have a roughing call on that first one that gives them a free 15 yards. Does that help them out? Of course it does. 6-3 then. 11-yard line after we get the ball on our own 11 after a special teams penalty. Right? First down and 10, Odell Beckham, 8 yards.
Then we get sacked, but there was a defensive hold.
Yep. Second down and 2, it was Butler who held Beckham. And then this is where we get the first down, and this is where Chris Hubbard gets absolutely destroyed, and Chubb loses 3. So we go to 2nd and 13. Njoku drops, which, okay, it's a drop, or it could go, maybe Baker doesn't throw him the best catchable ball there, but it's a drop. And then Hubbard gets absolutely annihilated by Cam Wake, which happened all day. Cameron Wake, 2.5 sacks. I know they all weren't against Hubbard. Moved to the left side, right, at one point, because after Robinson got thrown out, Kendall Lamb gets injured.
Yeah.
There's another glaring. I mean, our offensive line's trash already. It's trash. Think about Tennessee signing Cameron Wake for 3-year, $21 million or whatever. We went and gave away our Pro Bowl guard to get Olivier Vernon, who I like, but he didn't show up today.
Yeah, really.
What'd Vernon have?
Nothing. I mean, he's not even
He has no tackles, nothing.
Yeah, he's not even in the list.
Dear God.
But he seemed active early. I don't know what. Yeah, I didn't really see him after that. I noticed that they put
he got held
on the
one
left
play.
side and then moved Vernon to the right side for a lot of the game after probably the majority, I think, Garrett got moved. So I don't know.
Well,
again,
we'll take a look at that.
Yeah.
So when I was at camp, they were playing Garrett they were playing Vernon on the strong side and Garrett on the weak side. And I wasn't even looking at that today, but it'll be something I would go back and look at to see if that's the way they're swapping them, because that could be, or they're just taking advantage of the matchups or whatever.
Yeah. Great punt out of the end zone there by the Hammer, by the way.
Out of the end zone. You said the key word there. How many times did it? So his first punt was from the 1 yard line, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. First punt from the 1 yard line. All right. Tennessee goes 3 and out, helped by a Tennessee penalty when Vernon was held on 3rd down and 13. Oh, actually, he was held on 3rd down and 13, but it didn't matter. They didn't get the first down.
That's right.
That's what it was. So then we get the ball back at the 8, right? We get the ball back at the 8, 2nd down and 7. Njoku gets a nice 18-yard gain there. 3rd and 3, a couple plays later, 3rd and 3. Baker doesn't have time to set his feet and then throw. Well, he does have time. He just doesn't set his feet. And then he underthrows Hilliard, it looked like the play was drawn up to go to Hilliard there very quickly. Baker took his time and didn't have his feet set, and then underthrows him, and now you have to punt. That one 100% was on Mayfield.
It seemed like Mayfield held the ball a lot today. I don't know if that's just trying to speed up his reads or if Tennessee was doing some confusing stuff. I don't know.
Well, and we'll be able to see that more once the All-22 comes out, but we do know, we know Tennessee's got a pretty good defense, a pretty strong secondary. So it's not like this is just a pushover defense. We knew that this is a solid defense. So then we punt. I think it was another good punt. I wrote down 52-yarder. That's pretty solid. Yep. So then Tennessee starts their drive from the 13. 4 penalties on this play or on this drive by us. 4 penalties leads to a 2-yard Derrick Henry touchdown. 2nd down and 4. We just had stuffed the play, and Miles head slaps the guy, the offensive lineman or tight end. Yep. Gets the unnecessary roughness. So we would have been sitting there at 3rd and 4. So then we're at 3rd and 10, incomplete to Humphreys. Randall's called for a pass. No, he gets the pass breakup, but he's called for a hold. There's clearly no hold there, right?
Yeah, I guess they said he got his hand up around his neck, but it didn't seem early to me.
All right, that was the one that I questioned. We're like, all right, Randall, agreed. That's not a penalty, and I think the announcers even agreed. Like, there's no way that's a freaking penalty in the NFL.
Get the ball back there, yeah.
Okay, so then 2nd down and 9. This is where Walker goes 17 yards. I believe it was Greedy who was on the coverage there. It looked like they were probably in zone. 2 plays later, 2nd down and 8, roughing call against Trent Richardson. Might as well. That's the way he played today, like Trent Richardson, by Sheldon Richardson. So that gets him a first down, moves them into the red zone. 3rd down and 4. Hey, what are we going to do on 3rd and 4, Adam?
Let's jump off sides for no reason.
Hey, 3rd and 4. 3rd and 4. Here's what we're doing. All right, we're getting set. 3rd and 4. Watch them go on the hard count. That's probably what they're going to do. It's 3rd. They only need, if they get 5, it's a first down, guys. I don't know if you know that's how it works. Defensive line should be talking there. Don't jump. What do we do? 3rd down and 4. We jump. Free first down. 2 plays later. Derrick Henry, 2-yard run. Touchdown.
10-6.
We're still in this damn thing. 10-6. 10-6. Now, a field goal should tie the game, but remember, we kept the kicker who clearly lost the competition. But that's fine, because we're all about competition in Cleveland, right? Keep telling us that, Mr. Dorsey. We're all about competition. Doesn't really matter who wins the competition. It's about who I drafted.
Right. Not my guy.
Yeah, not my guy. But we're about the competition. So we go 3 and out. Again. The worst player, here's the worst player of the day, Demetrius Harris, now with the drop. I didn't expect, I knew Demetrius Harris had terrible hands. He basically has 2 feet 2 hooves. I'm not even sure he might as well have hooves on his hands, because that's the way he catches. He's always been a terrible at trying to catch. If you look at the history of his drop rate, it's probably one of the worst in the NFL history. Doesn't matter. The Browns had to have this guy. So we went out, paid big money for him because he's a good blocker. So not only did he drop a pass today, he was also called for 2 holds on the day. The great run blocker, Demetrius Harris, who can't catch a pass, probably had to have the worst game of anybody.
Yeah, also can't block. So there's that.
Can't block, can't catch, can't be on my team.
Useful, yeah. The sad part of that is we start on our own 30. Chubb goes for 9 on first down. Okay, we're moving the chains here. Now let's do 2 incomplete passes and punt. 3 and out.
Yes. Good point. Yeah, 3rd down and 1. They spread it out, and I was like, oh, maybe they're spreading it out so they can run, and then they threw it. And Landry actually almost made a phenomenal catch. Landry, 4 catches, 67 yards. Really, he made a couple nice catches, and if he would have hauled that one in, like, good Lord, that would have been fantastic.
Yeah, it was real close on the sideline.
Yeah, I don't mind taking a shot every once in a while, but man, we really needed a first down there. Just didn't work out. So then the Titans, they get the ball back. Henry, he's running, he picks up a couple first downs. He has a couple nice runs, 18 yards and 8. And then 2nd down and 2, Mariota sacked by Morgan Burnett. So they lose 9, and then they end up having the punt after that. But Mariota on the next play, it's 3rd down and 11. He misses Davis, who's wide open. Our secondary, like our defense did a nice job, but the secondary left a lot of guys open. Mariota missed a lot of balls today. I know you look up there, you go 43-13. Damn, they must have completed every goddamn pass that was open. No, he missed a lot of balls. It could have been a lot worse than that. Yeah, the secondary is letting guys run too wide open. I'm sorry?
He was 14 of 24 for 248 yards and 3 scores. Like he had 14 completions, for God's sake.
Yep. Yeah, 43-13. 14 completions, 43 points. Good luck. Good luck winning when you do that sort of thing. Okay. All right, so then
our own 28, 5 minutes to go in the half.
First play, Chubb, 2-yard run, but Greg Robinson gets the flag. Why? He's trying to throw an up kick and knock a dude out. So he gets tossed. That makes it 2nd down and 23, that makes it 1st down and 23 or whatever. I don't even know what it was at that point.
No, the play counts. So it's
okay, so 2nd down and 23.
Yeah, 23, yeah.
Yeah, Landry gets a 10-yard gain, and then Njoku tries to make a diving grab, doesn't work out. He takes a hit, and then we got a punt.
Yeah, punt, 3 and out. Kendall Lamb's now in at left tackle.
Yeah, he must have not got very many snaps, though.
No, not much.
Lamb. All right, Titans' next drive is ruined when Myles Garrett finally gets to the quarterback. 2nd down and 11, I believe, is when he got in there, and then so they go 3 and out. This is where the punt. So then they punt. This is where Hilliard blows the punt return. And actually, I don't even know if we saw Hilliard after that because they started putting Jarvis Landry back there. So Freddie must have been pretty pissed about it, or Prefer must have been real pissed because you cannot let that ball fucking go by you and roll down 15 more yards and end up at the 2-yard line. That is like the cardinal sin of punt returning. You can't let that happen. Okay, so then 1st down, false start by some bum on the offensive line. Who knows? It's one of them bums.
It was Hubbard.
Not named Treader and Batonio. Who was it?
It was Hubbard.
Okay, and then so that only moves us really back a yard, and then they run the Browns run. Look at it again. The Browns run this same play they just ran. Freddie also. So if we, let's go ahead and shit on Freddie here a little bit because I don't think this was his best game plan, and so not only was that incredibly stupid, there's the play as we get towards the end of the half where the Browns are driving that Romo mentioned is incredibly stupid. You're not giving any underneath routes when the defense is playing way back.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. So they get the safety. That makes it, what's the score at the time?
That'll make it 12-6. Tennessee getting the ball back with 1:42 to go.
Yeah, and they actually do us a favor. They waste no time. They use no time off the clock, go 3 and out, punt it back deep into our territory, and leaves us 57 seconds left on the clock. Ratley, 7-yard catch. Hilliard, 14-yard catch. Timeout with 25 seconds. On 1st down, the next play, Beckham, 24 yards. And then Beckham with another 20-yard play, but is called for an offensive pass interference. When you go back and watch this one, so the defender is allowed to have his hand and on Beckham, but Beckham's not allowed to knock his hand off, apparently. That's what it sure as hell looked like to me.
Yeah, I'd like to see that one again, because that one probably cost us points, too.
That one was very close, because that is something that you almost see on every single route, and you see these guys do all the time. You're not supposed, if you're the wide receiver, you're not supposed to let that guy keep his hands on you. You want to get his hands off. So if that's what Beckham's doing is knocking his hands off, that can't be offensive pass interference. Now, if he shoved him in the shoulder to create space, that's different. That's completely different. So after the offensive pass interference, we stall out, end of the half. But we're still in the game at this point.
Yeah, I want to also make it clear at this time, after Lamb goes out with the injury, Hubbard is now our left tackle.
Yeah.
Batonio's our left guard, Treader's a center, Eric Cush is right guard, and Justin McCray came in to play right tackle. Just what we expected was, yeah.
Yeah, who knew that? Why? I mean, what else are they going to do?
I don't know.
So Justin McCray, who's been here exactly like 6 days, all right, maybe 8 days, now has been thrust into a key role. You know, like, come on. Why? Because you kept a guy who was a second-round pick and can't play. That's part of the reason. Because you could have kept a guy who could play. Who was the tackle we liked?
Seaton would have.
Okay, Brad Seaton there. Gone. Meanwhile, you keep a guy who can't play because he was a second-round draft pick and was inactive today. By the way, we didn't even get into the inactives, but we'll cover that. Jannard Avery being inactive seemed crazy. Hey, how many snaps did Chad Thomas get?
Snaps, I don't know, but he didn't record a stat per usual. I don't know.
You're telling me Jannard Avery couldn't have helped his team today?
I mean, I don't know what they were doing.
I'll leave that where it's at. You guys figure that one out for me. All right, so so we took the ball at the beginning of the game, so we actually have to kick at half, if you recall. Anything else you got in that first half? It was disappointing, but I thought that Freddie could go in and rally these guys. Go, hey, that team ain't beating us. We're beating us.
Yeah, we already
Get it together.
We had like 10 penalties for 147 yards at half. We didn't really clean that up, but that was a thing. Like I said,
I'm joking. We had 10 penalties in the first half.
Yeah, 10.
Jesus Christ.
I think we ended up with 10 holding penalties, but I'll have to go back and count them all.
And the thing is, Greg Robinson got thrown out of the game because that was his second penalty also, but he's like renowned holder. Like, he is the king of holding. So the fact that he's not even in there and you can still have 10 holding calls, congratulations. Look, what did we talk about, Adam? What is the one thing that is going to slow down the Browns offense? What's the Achilles heel to this Browns offense? What did we talk about since the end of last season? What was our biggest fear?
Besides the offensive line?
No, the offensive line. That's the biggest fear, right?
Yeah, I think everyone was hopeful that Mayfield would just continue to move around the pocket as needed and be able to get the ball out quick, that they would game plan to get the ball out quick, that they would use tight ends to chip quick, these fast rushers from Tennessee, and they didn't do much of it. They didn't do much of it.
I think Pro Football Focus, I heard them on either their the main NFL show they do, or the guys with Eric Eager, who we've had on. They talk about the chip block is actually a negative play. That when you chip block, worse things come from it than when you don't chip block. It actually costs points to chip block. I thought that was interesting. So, according to them, you shouldn't be chip blocking. Well, but there's times where the Browns seem to definitely need a chip block.
Yeah, and I watch Garrett too in the first half. When he beats his man, there's two dudes ready to hit him again. He's getting chipped. He's getting double teamed. He was getting annihilated. He got a sack like at the first time that I saw him actually go 1-on-1 against that left tackle. He got a sack.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody like Harold Landry had a sack or two. What did he end up with? Let's see here. He didn't have a sack. The sack went to Finch. Logan Ryan had 1.5, and then 2.5 for Cameron Wake. But Landry might have been in there on a couple plays, like close, but I didn't think like he was the main problem was Cameron Wake.
Right.
And he was just off the ball quick and getting to the quarterback with ease. So yeah, if you're going to throw a chip anywhere, he had 4 quarterback hits on the day. That's where your chip needed to go.
I mean, I'm just saying that you can do something. Tennessee knows that, well, it's going to hamstring our offense a little bit, but we have to block Garrett. We have to block Vernon. We have to block these dudes. So we'll use protections that, yeah, sometimes they're going to take away from our offensive efficiency, but let's not give up a bunch of easy sacks or have those turn into turnovers like they did late in the game for Mayfield.
Yeah.
I just felt like we didn't do anything different, and then you end up basically playing the offense in this first half, you played in the second half again.
Mm-hmm.
So we can go through the second half. Tennessee.
Yeah, well, I only wrote down a couple more, and then I gave up. I said the hell with this because I got so pissed off.
Okay, well, I can go through it. First play of the second half was A.J. Brown for 51.
Yeah, that's right. This was the play action pass. This is the one where Mitchell is on him, gets too far, and Mitchell just needs to make the catch. It's fine. I mean, you're going to give up these plays, right?
Yeah.
From time to time, but then you give up the 18-yard catch because you make the tackle. You don't get stiff arm to the ground, and then he breaks another tackle, and then I don't even know what the hell Schobert was like ice skating through there or some shit. And then nobody can bring him down. AJ Brown, who is about as fast as me, somehow rumbles for 51 yards.
Yeah. So the next play, they're down to the Cleveland 28. Ogunjobi gets a beautiful sack, minus 10 yards. Okay, so maybe we can hold him to a field goal. We do.
Yeah.
53-yard field goal. Cairo Santos, who's been a free agent the entire offseason, signed like Thursday, comes in, knocks down a 53-yarder. He also made his other kick.
What round? They didn't draft him in like the 5th round or higher to make a 53-yarder?
Dude goes 5 for 5 on extra points, hits a 53-yarder and then a 37-yarder. Perfect on the day. He was just sitting there all offseason. So
you can't just find these kickers anyway. They don't grow on trees, man.
So Brownsy. So now it's 15-6. Everything's fine. We're only down 9.
Yeah.
Nothing.
But the problem is, so you're sitting 15-6 here. If you make your extra point, you're only down by 1 score. Now we're down by 2 scores. Because you missed that extra point, right? I mean, I know I said it before, but man, you just got to make your goddamn extra points. How hard is it?
Yeah, it looks like that's what you get paid for. So,
yep.
Browns offense started off okay in the second half. Quick hit to Beckham for 12, Chubb for 15, down to the Tennessee 48. Chubb goes for 4. Another fucking holding on Hubbard.
Chris Hubbard again. And then, of course, we stall out because what happens after you go 2nd and long?
Yeah. 2nd and 16, they try a screen pass that we never seem to be able to.
When's the last time we had a screen pass for 75 yards?
I can't remember our screen passes really going for anything.
Ever.
Yeah. So Chubb loses a yard to 3rd and 17, Landry for 10, and then another great punt. Down to
I'm glad you're keeping track because that's when I was puking after the Browns off.
Down to the Titans 6. They went 3 and out.
Yep.
Had to delay a game. Browns get the ball back. Nobody's panicking.
Nope. I still felt good about it. I was like, we just got to quit making mental mistakes here, quit committing penalties, and we'll be okay.
Yeah, so it's 6.5 minutes. We get the ball at the 50. We got good field position. Nope, holding on the return. So we'll start from the 40.
Yeah.
Our own 35, actually.
39 is where it started because then we got the false start.
Yep. False start.
Push us back.
Move us back. Holding on Demetrius Harris. 1st and 25. Perfect. Chubb for 2, Njoku for 7. 3rd and 16. Awesome catch, Landry, 23 yards.
Yep. 3rd and 16, I'm going, okay, we might as well just punt here.
Yeah.
Just punt it. But Baker buys a little bit extra time with his feet, works inside the pocket, and then hits Landry, who adds a couple extra yards to the end of that catch.
Yep, 2 plays
Huge
later.
first down. Really, without that, I don't know if we score again. That was the key to this, to the second half offense right there.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, Landry catches the 34-yarder, kind of back shoulder, turns around to the last second, throws his hands up, makes a tough catch. Next play, Njoku, 3-yard score. Njoku on the day, 4 catches, 37 yards and a score. Landry, 4 catches, 67 yards. So it's 15-13. Oh, and he made the extra point, thankfully.
That's right. 15-13. We're right back in this thing, baby. There's 2 minutes, 3rd quarter. Plenty of time. Plenty of time to get in, 4th quarter to line up one of those Siebert automatic field goals. What are we going to do, defense? What do we do?
Everybody's going to get sucked into the left side. They're going to throw an easy screen pass to the right, or actually it's the other way around. And then Henry's going to run down the sideline untouched for 75 yards.
That's the way that the Browns defense works. We cannot defend a screen pass.
Hey,
in the last 19 years since we've returned to Cleveland, We cannot defend a screen pass. Why?
Well, we're going to go down 9, so I think the prudent decision, down 9 with a quarter to go, is to throw the challenge flag and then nothing. So
No, we didn't challenge that, I don't think, did we? That wasn't our challenge. That was
from the booth?
Yeah, they do a booth review on scoring plays.
So they were looking at the penalty?
So there's blocking. So they were looking to see if there's offensive pass interference because there's blocking on a screen pass. I'm not sure exactly how that. Are you allowed to block if the ball is thrown behind the line of screen? I'm not real sure. I don't think you are, because this happens pretty often where they're not supposed to be blocking, but they are, especially on those wide receiver screens. Actually, if you go to the other Derrick Henry touchdown later in the game, you'll see that the guy is just straight up blocked and thrown, whoever that was on him, maybe Whitehead, and the ball's just thrown right to Henry as his guy's being blocked. Like, I don't understand how that's not a penalty.
Yeah, I don't know. But, hey, we're only down 9. No worries. We're going to throw...
I was worried, and this is where I quit fucking writing anything down because I was so sick of this shit.
Yeah, we're going to go 4 turnovers in a row here. Kevin Byard's first pick. That was on a second and 14 because Harris had another hold.
Oh, that's right. You see how you get behind the sticks and all of a sudden Baker's got to try to do more than what, like he can't play within himself because he's trying to catch up.
Yeah.
This is what happens.
Yep. They take over at the 35. There's a defensive hold on 3rd and 4, but Mariota scrambled anyway and got the first down. And then Delaney Walker, his first of his 2 touchdowns from 11 yards out, 29-13. It's starting to get away. We're only down 16 though.
No, it's over. I don't even want to go over the rest because I'm sick of this shit. This is where it gets out of control. Unless you really want to. I've had enough of it. Like, we got our ass handed to us after this, and then it was like basically everybody turned into Jamie Collins at this point.
Yeah, just a bunch of Baker throws 3 picks in the fourth quarter. One goes returned for a touchdown.
He knew that we picked him for 14 interceptions, so he had to catch up to that number. Get him in today while he could.
Definitely not his best day. Really not Freddie's best day, not the offensive line's best day. I mean, there's a lot of issues.
But here's the scary thing about that. What if it was the offensive line's best day? Because I don't think they played that much worse than what they really are. I thought they were crap. They have been shit. They're probably going to continue to be shit. You really, and the problem is, like, you have a pass receiver that you want to use Njoku for, but if you're got to keep him in the chip, that takes away another one of your threats.
Yeah.
That is the issue here. Like, and maybe Greg Robinson will play a little bit better when he's actually in there, and it'll help solidify the line some, but we know he's not very good. I'm afraid that this might be the best offensive line that we can even see.
Well, then the defense is really going to have to step it up and play much, much, much better.
I'm not sure our secondary is that good. I think we have good playmakers. We have a really good quarterback. We have a really good running back. I think we have an outstanding D-line, and then there's a few guys mixed in. But outside of that, the position groups as a whole outside of that are not very good.
Right, but we're talking about
linebackers. Well, and Schobert's fine, but linebackers are fine because really it's just Schobert. And I thought Kirksey was halfway decent today.
Yeah,
I thought Kirksey did okay.
We were talking about 12 wins though, like 3 days ago.
Yeah, and they still could do that. The problem, you have to get a lead, man.
If that's our best offensive line though, like, we can throw this right out.
You got to get a lead. Well, that's what we've been worried about. It's all this entire season comes down to if this offensive line can get it together. If they play like what they did today, you're screwed. But we were hoping they could just play average ball, right? That's what we were hoping. Because if they play average ball, we'll be okay because all the other position groups are so good. That was piss poor today. That was well below average. And I'm not sure that they're much more than well below average.
Yeah. So, really not.
Who do we even got next week?
The Jets on Monday night, who got beat by the Bills.
All right. Well, okay. Well, I'm not too worried about them.
At home as well. Probably another humbling defeat for them. They only lost by 1, 17-16. We gave up 43 points home opener. There it is, 43. We needed some adversity, right? Why not get adversity off of week 1? This might be the best. If you want to take one positive away, this is it right here. You guys got your asses kicked. What are you going to do? We've got 8 days to get ready for the Jets. What are we doing, right?
Yep. I tell you what, that's the one thing that gives me a little bit of hope is that it's week 1. You just had the Green Bay Packers put up 10 points against the Bears. You had the Bears put up 3 points against Green Bay. Okay.
Right.
As we look up there, there's a lot of, Baltimore putting a 59 on Miami. That makes me a little worried, to be honest. But there's not like nobody right now. If you're playing your best football right now, you kind of screwed up because you want to be playing your best football in December. Right now, you're still getting, these teams that are not playing a lot of guys in the preseason. We might have a little bit of hangover from that, not getting a ton of reps. That's okay. We got plenty of time to get it back together. We got plenty of time to get this thing rolling. I am interested to see how is Freddie going to handle adversity today. I want to hear his comments. I'm going to go listen to his interview right now. I want to hear what the players have to say. I'll probably put Baker up there, and Baker will probably say the right things. But I want to hear how they handle that, and then I'm going to pay close attention to next week's when they're with the press and what they're saying in the press. Are we going to start pointing fingers, or are we going to go, all right, hey, we laid an egg. Now we're going to come back. We're going to work twice as hard, and we're going to put a smack on the New York Jets next week, right? Yeah. Face a little bit of adversity. Yeah. It's everybody takes a whooping from time to time, right? Right? Everybody gets knocked down. How do you respond to that? What are the Browns going to do to come back? And that's going to tell us what this team's really made of, I think. 1 week has not ended our season. So there is some hope to look forward to.
Yeah, pretty disappointing, though. I kind of thought that if we come out of here with a loss, it's going to be sort of deflating. And I was pretty deflated the whole second half. But
it was unwatchable.
But it's
after the 75-yard touchdown, I was done.
Yeah, this is
it's enough.
Every Sunday, this is what we sit here and we're like all excited and we want to watch the game and we go 1-31 and then we go it's just the Brown, this is what we expect. And then last year, the 7-8-1 or whatever, and you see some decent football and you see some bad football, and then coming into today, Browns are favored at home. They lose by 30 fucking points. It's kind of embarrassing now for this to be, if you came in and lost 27-24 and you actually showed up, that's one thing. This is a debacle. This is embarrassing. This is terrible. Couldn't go any worse. So
it could not go any worse. And this is the worst. I didn't think it would be nearly this bad. And it went terribly. I didn't think it could go this bad. It went worse than my expectations.
Yep.
That's for sure.
Back to the drawing board for sure. Beckham, 7 receptions, 71 yards. Any other numbers that we skipped? Baker, 25 of 38, 285, 1 touchdown, 3 picks, sacked 5 times. Nick Chubb, 74 yards on 16 carries. Not great, not terrible.
Miles got 2 sacks.
2 sacks, yep. Burnett had the 1. Ogunjobi had the 1 we mentioned. 7 tackles for loss by our defense. Not bad. Everything else we'll rewatch it. Probably have more to say about it on Thursday, but I'm pretty fucking disappointed. I'll say that much.
Yep, for sure. It's a long season, though. There's plenty of time to go. There's plenty of time to turn things around. As we know, we've seen this before. I mean, what was Jacksonville last year? 3-1, looking like they were going to be another back to the AFC Championship game, and then they won like one more game the rest of the year. Like that's the way things go in the NFL.
Oh, for sure.
So
and week
one game means you got to get your shit together, but it doesn't tell you the story of what the 2019 Cleveland Browns are. That's for sure. We're going to find out. How do you respond to a little adversity being thrown your way? It was bound to happen. It's just happening a little earlier than we thought.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got. Let's see what kind of leadership in this locker room we have.
Yeah. I mean, Monday's always an overreaction, especially week 1 is going to be an overreaction. But I think maybe we need an overreaction here by the Browns. This wasn't good. So it's not like we can – there's not much here that they can go, hey, we did pretty good here. We did pretty good here. I think they got outplayed. They got outcoached. Everything in every facet of the game, they lost. I'll just say it again. 18 penalties, 182 yards, 3 turnovers, 1 for 10 on third down, 0 for 2 on fourth down, and 5 sacks. You ain't going to win any games in the NFL ever.
No.
All right, I got nothing else. I'm done.
I'm done too.
Fuck this game.
It's in the past. It's not about what happened yesterday. It's about what happened today. What does Freddie always say? It's about what you're doing today. And you just keep going forward. It's putting them all together.
So now we get to rewatch this 3 times before Thursday. Then we'll watch some. We'll see what the Jets did, and then we'll be talking about that. So that's it. Next up, right?
Next up.
All right. Well, and then we'll also have to break down these injuries too. Like, what's happening on the offensive line next week? Are we in the free agent market already for offensive linemen? Is Higgins okay? There's a lot of things that will be coming up here on Tuesday as well. So that's all for me.
Me as well.
What's our Twitter? You
can hit us up on Twitter at STS Podcast, and our email is
survivingtheseason@gmail.com, patreon.com/STS Podcast if you want to support the show. Tough week, everybody. I know we were all pumped up for this one. Let's not get too down. It's 1 of 16. We'll be back Thursday, and hopefully we'll have something better to say. I doubt it, though. Greg, tell them what we say.
Keep on surviving.